Welcome back, Bob the Vape Computer Guy. Today we're taking a look at the Dynamo from Aspire. So I'm really liking this. This is a dual 21700 device that doesn't feel much bigger than a dual 18650 device. A little bit thicker there, but overall, really nice in the hand. This was sent in by Vapor for Life. Check them out at vaporforlife.com. You can use my discount code, which is on the screen there, or you can also see the direct link on the screen, which will take you directly to this item, or just go to vaporforlife.com and do a quick search for Dynamo, and I'm sure it will come right up. Let's dive down, take a look at it, and then I'll tell you what it's been like vaping on this thing. All right, so today we're taking a look at the Dynamo by Aspire. This is the rainbow version, and as you can see, it is very rainbowy. The tank matches the mod. You have the black with this little bit of texture on it, which kind of matches the texture on here. All right. The back just has this kind of fake carbon fiber on here. On the bottom, door pops open. Door's been working fine. Got a bit of a tight wrap on there. Dual 21700, 2700, or 18650. Really nice. Snaps in tight, as you can hear with that door. Fire button on the side. A little bit of venting or just styling here. Doesn't look like it goes through, but it may serve for a little bit of venting. All right. Screen. That's the first thing you notice with this thing. This screen is beautiful. It is clear. It is sharp. And it is bright. You can easily see this screen outdoors. It's not summertime here, but you can still see it pretty bright even in daylight. No problems whatsoever. You have your up and down buttons, and you have your micro USB charging port. The tank itself we'll look at the end. Let's go ahead and go right into this screen and menu system and take a look at it. So press the fire button, and the screen comes on. These outer lines, you can see that one moving down there. Those are your batteries. The one dot is battery 1. The two dots are battery 2. All right. The two batteries I have in here are two different 21700s. They're not married, so the batteries do jump around a little bit because they weren't meant to be together. You do have your watts. You're in normal mode. You have 70 watts is where I'm currently at. Your volts, resistance, and your amps. If you press the fire button 1, 2, 3, it turns the screen off, but still vapes. 1, 2, 3, and you're back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it says locked, and that locks everything, and that's their kind of off on here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're unlocked. Left in the fire button locks it, but you can still fire, but you won't change your wattage. That's the way it should be. You should still be able to fire. Do it again, turns off, and it's pretty quick. It's not like something you got to hold for a few seconds. It's nice. You just do it, and it's done. Right or power up and the fire button brings you to your menu. Menus here, you can see across the top, you have multiple dots here to go through the different sections. If we go to the first one, which is modes, and we go in, now you're going up and down. So you can see it's on wattage now, scrolls voltage, bypass, temperature control, TCR, CPS, which is like your curves, and then back to wattage. All right. So if you go like to your curve modes, you can have 3 pre-programmed curve modes in there. And there's your curve. Go back to the menu again, go back to wattage. Now you're back in power mode. If you do it again, then you go to the second setting, which is data. Under data, you have your wattage preheat, your TCRs, the CPS where you can program those curves. So you can go in there and say curve 1, and then you can say what you want the curves to be at. And you can change it and jump along the menu. Program the whole thing. When you're done, you just hold the fire button for a few seconds and you're back. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3 is off, see? Just by habit, end up doing that. It's plus and the fire button, and then we're back here again. Data. So your TCRs, your CPS, lock your resistance, wattage preheat, for quick, normal, or slow, and then you go back and forth there. When you want to get out of this, you can just hold the power button, or fire button, I should say. Go back to your modes again. You can go to system. Under system, your vape time, your screen time, the watch time. You can have this be a clock, and you can say how long you want that to stay on for, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and so forth. Brightness. Obviously, we're at the brightest setting right now, but this really is a nice, bright screen, and I really love it. Go back here. You can change your language, manual user interface sets, defaults, so forth. Press it again. We're back. Go back to the menu. System. Time. Time is where you're going to set your time and your watch user interface. These are all the different, you see the dots down here, there's probably, you know, like 10 of them there. These are all the different watches that you can set as the display. I have it set off right now. I don't find a reason for a watch on here, but if you want to watch, you have all those displays. So it's nice. They're giving you a lot of information. Hold the button again, and you're back. Fire on the button again, and you can go over to About, and it tells you what it is, the software version, and it gives you a QR code that you can scan to go to the site. So really nice. All right. Now, this rainbow material, it's a fingerprint magnet, but it's not something you see normally. So under the camera here, when I'm reflecting the light, you're going to see all the fingerprints on there. But when you're just holding this thing and using it, and you just glance at it, you really don't see the fingerprints on here. So technically it's a fingerprint magnet, but it's not the kind where you just see it all the time when you're using it. All right. Everything on here has been working good. The door's good. The buttons have been working good. Center loaded 510. And we'll take a look at the tank. All right. Nice, solid center loaded 510 on there. Give you some measurements first. So the tank that it comes with is going to be, well, you're getting 26.7 millimeters, but the mod itself can handle, the mod itself is a 30.5, so you can easily fit a 30 millimeter atomizer on here with no problem. All right, as you can see, you can put a 30 millimeter on there and no overhang and still have space on there. So really nice. Let's go ahead, and I filmed the part for this tank up close before I had juice in it, so let's take a look at that. All right, let's take a look at the Aspire Nefo tank. So there is your 510 pin. You have this nice rainbow on mine. This has some really industrial type gnarling on here. This is, you know, feels like metal, and you have, I mean, look at that. It's just, you got such grip on there. You got a 510, I'm sorry, an 810 drip tip on there without the O-ring. Let's go ahead and open this up. And you'll have no problems getting that open. It's easy to grip. Got the rainbowing even on the inside of the metal. Now, getting out this coil, that could be a little tricky. It's a double O-ring coil, as you'll see in a minute, but this is just really hard to get out. I find that to remove it, I really do have to use a pair of pliers or something and wiggle it out like that. All right, and as you can see, this is the 0.15, 60 to 75 watts mesh coil, and it's got this tight O-ring here. It's got a big O-ring over here. So when that's going into that tank, as soon as you get that in a little bit, it's already, you know, tight, which is good. And then you have to really push that O-ring down and get that in there. So it's just a really tight fit, so just be prepared that you do have to use something, I think, to pull that out of there. Now, the top here, you'll see, here it is. Here's your arrow. But you can't just slide it. It's got a safety. You got to pull it up like that. And they call that a child safety on there. So, all right. And then there's your fill port. Slide it back. Slide it down. And the good thing about that is you really don't have to worry about this thing sliding on its own. It's a tight slide. And when it goes back down here, did that do it? It felt like automatic. No, of course not. But it actually goes down really tight on there. So you got 1, 2, 3 airflow slots with a stopper. Really smooth and nice. All right. So there's your tank. All right, so let's get you all the specs on this. So there you go. That's the Dynamo from Aspire. So basically, like I said, it is not much bigger than a regular device. It's going to be a little bit thicker and just slightly higher. But the battery life, that's the main thing I love about this. Is two wonderful things about this. First of all, it's been working fine. No problems whatsoever. No problems with the door, no problems with the buttons. The interface is nice. A little strange that you have to hit the plus and the fire button to get to the main interface instead of 3 clicks or something like that, or holding the plus and minus. But so what? Once you realize it's a little different, it works fine. First of all is that dual 21700. Having a dual 21700 mod, if you're someone who normally vapes on dual 18650s, and then you take something like this out for the day, you're going to notice the battery life. You're going to thinking you're about dead, and you look at it, and you still got like 40% of your battery life on there, and that is wonderful. That extra battery life is always nice. I do like that battery indicator. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of bright on the top there. So it's those 1 and 2, which indicate your batteries, which just go down as the battery's going down. So it's not a percentage, but it's very obvious. Obviously, if it's in the bottom, it's going halfway down. You know your battery's at 50%. So it does a good job, and it works well, and I do like it. The device itself is solid. It feels heavy. It feels nice. Everything about it's been working really good. that screen is just so big and bright. I have so many problems. I drive a lot, and so many times I'm picking up a mod and I just want to adjust it in the car, and it's hard to see, you know, in daylight, even in a car. This is extremely easy to see that display, bright and clear, sharp resolution on the numbers there. You know, which I notice those kinds of things just being in the tech business. When you look at the numbers and the digits on here, they're sharp, they're clear, easy to read, really nice screen. This is the rainbow version. I haven't seen the other versions. I really do like it. I think it looks great with the tank. The tank, which has all this gnarling around it, all over it, makes it really easy to grip, to turn, to adjust. And I love that you don't even see a coil inside, but you see the rainbow pattern carried right through to the inside, to that chamber that your coil sits in inside there. So they did a really nice job with that. The child safety lock on the top of this, they're calling it child safety lock on top of this, where you pop it open before you can slide it. Now, I don't need it for child safety purposes. I don't have small children around, but it's nice that you have that. But I do like it just because it doesn't just slide on its own. You have to pull it up to unlock it and slide it over. A little extra, you know, security that you don't feel you might slide that open and spill out your juice. So it is a nice addition there. The tank feels solid, feels metal, and just doing a wonderful job all around. The 810 drip tip that comes with it is also contoured and very nice. So overall, there's no cons to this thing. Everything about it's been working great. The dual battery, the button's fine, the feel of it, the tank's working fine. You know, the tank's standard sub-ohm tank using sub-ohm coils. Aspire, you know, usually has decent coils, and so there's no problems there. Everything about this has been good, and yeah, no cons. If you're looking for something with extra battery life, if you have a couple of 21700s sitting around, otherwise you're going to have to pick up some new batteries with this if you only have 18650s in your vape shelf. But everything about this is really good. I recommend it. Go ahead, check it out on vaporforlife.com. Tell them I sent you by using my discount code, and enjoy. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.